Yes. Wonderful. I can't see it.
Yeah, they've taken us off camera because I think the line may not be strong enough. So you're frozen again. We may have to do without the picture. But it's good to see you.
I see you for a minute. Yes.
Yeah.
30 seconds. That's great.
You know, you're very much part of my journey because when I went to the, I'm the only untrained teacher of family therapy in Ireland. And
oh, that's wonderful. Well, I guess you might share that with being pioneers.
but you were an important part of me rectifying some of that. And I have to say that, well, hearing your voice again, and I can remember it in my ear all those years ago in 1981.
Yes.
And you were so extraordinarily generous. I mean, you worked with us from something like 8 in the morning till 8 at night. I don't know how we didn't drive you crazy. But you stayed so good humoured, you were creative, you were encouraging, and I thank you for that. All of these years later, that still means an awful lot to me.
Well, and I want you to know that, you know, you were the shining light. And, you know, every so often, as you know as a teacher, there is one person that one has the privilege to walk a little way with, who makes that journey for the teacher worthwhile. So you are a very important part of my life as one of those amazing people. And having watched your career blossom since, there's no question that you are absolutely, I'm not going to say fulfilled because we keep learning and growing, but you are absolutely fulfilling the promise that I saw then. Apart from which it was just so much fun being together.
It was.
And that mutual stimulus of, not just accepting what one ought to do, but looking at why are we doing it? What does it mean? How do we go from here? You know, what else do we need to understand? And sharing that with, a colleague is always the most exciting thing.
Yeah, it was amazing because also my preferred way of working wouldn't be active in a session. Like, I'm not dramatic in that sense, or it doesn't come easy for me to stand up and walk around or do things like that. And you had such a wonderful way of facilitating us all to actually work to our own strengths. And that was just fantastic to see in our little group, because we were coming from all over the world, and your gorgeous Cape Townian accent, which I adored and reminded me of my beloved Sassy, whose dad you knew well, Rex Wilson.
Yes.
And
yes, of course.
so your voice was always so soothing in my ear, apart from the wonderful direction you gave. And I don't know if you remember, we had this wonderful black family who came in to see us, who were very worried about their young boy. He was about 14 or 15.
Yes.
And I think I did nothing right in the first session. I remember I had a migraine, and you were so sweet, but I absolutely did nothing right. And then they came in the following week, and I was a bit better. And you suggested something that was quite amazing to me at the time. You suggested that we make a tape of the first session and the second session. Of the first session, how not to do structured family therapy. And the second session of how it can evolve in one session. And I used that tape for years in training.
Oh, that's great.
And that was down to you, and just how your I suppose expansiveness as a teacher and your generosity just made that possible. Because it really was a bit of a disastrous session.
Yeah. Well, it was a learning session, and I think, I often say to people in training, particularly if it's a really challenging community or large system, that if we're doing everything perfectly, we don't learn and grow.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Our growth moments are when we do make mistakes or something doesn't go the way we intended, and we have to find a way to do it. So,
And I think that was something I learned from you too. Because after that session, you kept saying to me, we only learn by our mistakes, we don't learn by our successes.
right.
And that was a huge, huge lesson for me going on to be a teacher.
Yeah. Well, it's so hard because we're such perfectionists that we beat ourselves up when we make mistakes, and it's so important to see them as growth moments. Yeah.
So how are you personally? You're traveling the world.
I'm good. I'm really good.
And I love to see the photographs of your doggie and Pam, and she's better again. Her health is good.
She is. She's doing well. She really is. And I love watching you and feeling connected, even though we haven't seen each other. And I love that the work you're doing is so important, and that we both. It really is. I mean, it's just very, very exciting. And I'm getting back more and more to community resilience and working with communities during this new epidemic. So,
and we've been talking about that. Yeah, we've been talking about that all day. So you're very much in sync with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm excited about trying to hand over the administration of the of the business and work much more in our foundation. So we're doing some work in disadvantaged communities and the communities where the highest death rates are and so on.
Yeah. No.
So,
no, you've been fantastic. Yeah.
Well, and you've tackled some of the most challenging issues in families. So your courage and pioneering spirit hasn't changed. You're still tilting at mountains and climbing to the top.
Sometime landing on my ass at the bottom.
Of course, we just get up and brush up and do it again.
So we're a group of over 100, so they're all hearing you. And all these wonderful people who came from all over the world. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in Aberdeen in March.
Wonderful. And
stay well. Thank you. Thank you, Judy. Biggest hugs. And thank you for everything.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.